attention to Twig's short films, which are all available free to all Scottish teachers through Glow Science. So what we're really encouraging teachers to do is go straight to the URL, which is glowscience.org.uk, and log in, and you have kind of over 650 films. Now I'm just using the Twig site today, just because I've got the login for that, but it's all exactly the same. So I'm just going to start by showing you a quick film to give you an idea of what it's all about. So I won't show you a film, which is a shame, but I'll talk you through the main features of our site, and that will give you a pretty good idea of what we're all about. So our films are they're all about 3 minutes long, and currently what's available through Glow Science is all science, but from August, from the new academic year, there's another 150 films being added on maths and about another 80 on human geography. They're all kind of high quality footage, made from sort of documentary standard footage. In our production offices in Glasgow, what we do is we look at all the curriculums kind of all over the world, talk to lots of different teachers. Since we're based in Glasgow, kind of the majority of our teachers are actually based in Scotland, so it's really very kind of neatly tailored to the CFE requirements. So then we kind of write the scripts ourselves in consultation with teachers and academics, and they're kind of re-edited, especially for the classroom. So I will just show you kind of the layout of the site, although I don't know if I will get without the right flash. So as you can see, you can explore the site by this kind of mind map layout, which is really intuitive, really easy, and shows you sort of lots of links between the films. So the two films in the centre, the slightly bigger circles, they're what we call core films, and they're really sort of covering key learning. So what does the heart look like and how does it work? Or, how do the lungs work? Why do we have bones? Sort of what is a balanced diet? That kind of stuff that all students really need to know. And then the smaller balls around the edge, they're the context films. So blood, lessons from war. That's all about how the properties of blood allowed doctors during in Vietnam and the Falklands War to help the wounded. There's also a good context film on energy transfer, so which is all about how Formula 1 cars, they take the energy which other cars lose as sort of sound and heat, put it back through their engines and give them kind of extra speed boost. So the context films are quite good because if you need something that the students want to remember it by, it might be a bit more interesting than just what's in the basic learner. So with each film, so with each film there are support materials which should come up. They would normally come up there, but this is something that's funny they're not. So you can go into them here as well, which are the learning materials. Now these are made up of, as you can see, question and answers. It's a mixture of kind of questions that cover the topic and then some extension questions as well. What's really good about here is if you're a primary teacher, you can take these questions and read through them before your lesson, just sort of brush up on the subject if you're not that confident as a science teacher. There are little short quizzes and quite high quality diagrams. You can get them both labelled and not labelled. And then there are also high resolution photos. Carrying on here. And each film also has the transcript, which comes up in a box next to it when it's playing. So everything I've mentioned just there, all the support materials, they can all be downloaded into either Word or as a PDF, and you can kind of do whatever you want. So I've spent the last few months talking to lots and lots of teachers who use the resource about the different ways they use it. And we've got a teacher, she teaches P6, and she says she downloads the transcripts into Word, she puts in some incorrect information, and then hands it around to her class, gets them to watch the film, and kind of test their critical literacy by seeing if they can pick out what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, the films they were created originally with sort of age kind of 9 to 15 in mind, but from my experience speaking to teachers, they use them across kind of all age levels. There's a teacher of P2, and she puts them on with the sound off and kind of gives her own voiceover, just because the graphics are of such good quality. There's lots of really nice ones about kind of the natural world and wildlife and that sort of thing. They are all matched to curriculum. So you can search by the mind map, you can search by a list view, which is good if you don't have Flash, or we're working on updating it so on sort of iPads and stuff, it will work with the mind map, but at the moment there's a list, or there's a curriculum view. So we went through and tagged it to the curriculum for excellence as far as possible, which just means it's really easy for you to sort of have a look at what you might be teaching this week. Off you go, you've got the right films. And that's pretty much for levels 2, 3 and 4. But as I said, it can work for all levels. So I know there's a chemistry teacher, she's teaching advanced higher. She uses some of the films on sort of complex chemical bonding, which may be not quite high enough, but it's good to demonstrate it better than a static image. So the film I was going to show you was all about fitness, and it covers a whole range of things from sort of like athletes and their fitness and how BMI maybe doesn't necessarily correlate, or isn't the only thing you should think about when you're working out how fit someone is. And that's a really nice film because it's in our biology section at the moment, but when we launch our new content we're also going to be tagging all of it to health and well-being, and to the technologies, and also to social studies. So that film would fit perfectly, obviously, into health and well-being as well as into biology. Also, I thought, with the Olympics and our summer of busy with sport coming up, it'd be quite a nice film, quite topical. And healthy living is not something you just teach at secondary school by any means. So, I suppose I really wanted just to show you a film and give you a feel for the whole resource. But I want to just kind of encourage you maybe to have a look at the site and look at some of the films, because I could go on and show you other features, but really it's very self-explanatory, it's really easy to use, and the best thing is for you to go on and have a look through it. If you don't know your Globe passwords, there are about 12 films, which is going to be expanded to about 16 to 20 films that you can have a watch before you get your passwords, hopefully. And if anyone has any questions, just either let me know now or afterwards, or get in touch. You can contact us directly and we'll just answer your email straight away. It goes straight to the right person, so you don't have to worry about getting lost.